A very warm good morning to all. I, Subinay Roy, Assistant Professor from the Department of Electrical Engineering, SISTec Ratibad, welcome you all in this International Power Innovation Conclave, which is organized by Department of Electrical Engineering, SISTec Ratibad, in collaboration with IEEE MB subsection Infinity Research Upgrade Mode Plus, which is a free education learning platform under RGPV Bhopal. The International Power Innovation Conclave is a discussion-based event, and theme of this event is based on renewable energy, robot, and drone technologies. So today we are having with us Dr. Jyoti Deshmukh, Group Director, Sagar Group of Institution, Bhopal, Dr. Manish Bilore, Principal, SISTec Ratibad, Professor Ashish Singhal, Head of the Department, Electrical Engineering, Professor Ayush Srivastav, IPIC Coordinator, and special guests Dr. Tripta Thakur, Director General, NPTI, and Dr. G.S. Tomar, Chairman IEEE MP subsection. Dear all, we are having a two session. The first session will be on renewable energy. Second session will be on drone and robot technologies. Experts for the session are Dr. G.S. Tomar, Chairman IEEE MP subsection, Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa, Professor MITS Gwalior, and Dr. Selendra Rajput, Research Associate, Ariel University, Israel. And the expert for the session 2 are Dr. Shriram Vasudevan, Project Manager, L&T, Dr. Abhishek Sharma, Research Scientist, Ariel University, Israel, and Mr. Ankit Mule, Co-founder, Infinity Research. Now, I request coordinator of the event, Professor Ayush Srivastav, to welcome our guest of today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shubhna sir, for handovering me. So now I would like to welcome all the dignitaries, and I welcome our special guest, Dr. Tripta Thakur ma'am, Director General, National Power Training Institute, and our special guest, Dr. G.S. Tomar sir, Chairman IEEE MP subsections, and in our international speakers, Dr. Shailendra Rajput, Research Associate from Ariel University, Israel, and our special guest, Dr. C.S. Malvi, Professor C.S. Malvi from Madhav Institute of Technology and Science, Gwalior. So I would give one brief about this event. The main idea behind this event is to bring an expert from a different area in the same platform where we can discuss about the futuristic technologies and their issues, challenges, and come out with a fruitful outcome. Thank you, Shubhna sir. Thank you, everyone. Hand over to Shubhna sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving insight of today's session. Now, I would request Dr. Manish Bilore, Principal SISTec Ratibad, to share his view about today's session. Respected sir.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Dr. Tripta Thakur, Madam, Honorable Shri Tomar Sahab, our respected speaker for session, Dr. C.S. Malvi, Mr. Shailendra Rajput from Israel, Head of the Department, Ashish Singhal, sir, all the faculty members, coordinators, Director of Sagar Group of Institutions, Dr. Jyoti Deshmukh, and all the viewers. Today, indeed is a pleasure to have everyone from all over the world on this platform of SISTec Ratibad. And therefore, I'm very happy that we are able to organize such kind of event, having all the experts from different parts of the country and side on a single platform, despite this pandemic. First of all, I would like to congratulate Tripta Madam for this prestigious position that she has been handling for quite some time now at NPTI. I'm sure, Madam, your association with Bhopal, your association with SISTec is going to help in some way or the other the fraternity at Bhopal, the fraternity at SISTec. And I'm sure you are going to have a good feeling about SISTec, Ratibad in particular, through this, through the conclave. And with this, let us, for a good start, we're going to have Tomar Saab, you are in IEEE, you are heading the subchapter. I hope with this conclave, again,
Now it is
can
section,
get
sir.
good
It
impression.
is section now.
Yes, it is section.
Associate student community, the projects that students are doing, the way the teachers are helping and mentoring the students. I'm sure you're going to carry a good impression about it. My request to all the dignitaries, to all the guests, that please feel free to ask our faculty members, our coordinators, some questions that are going to give you more insight about what we have been doing at SISTec. So with this, I would like to once again thank everybody for being here at SISTec, and I'm sure we are going to have a great time together. Once again, thanks everyone for being here, and I hope we will have continued interaction in the coming days, coming months, and years, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request Dr. Jyoti Deshmukh, Group Director, Sagar Group of Institution, Bhopal, to address our learner about today's session. Respected ma'am.
Okay, good morning to everyone, all associated, joined here through the virtual platform. Honorable Tripta Thakur ma'am, the Director General of NPTI, Dr. Malvi sir from IEEE subsection, MP subsection, Dr. Tomar from MITS Gwalior, and Dr. Shailendra Rajput, who is connected with us virtually, working with in Israel as a research associate, and those even not now connected with us, but will be joining us in the second half of this international conclave. All the keynote speakers and expert speakers of this conclave. Very hearty good morning, and thank you so much for connecting with us through this platform. I must congratulate the department coordinators as well as the head of the Department of Electrical Engineering for making this opportunity happen and connecting with the experts of academia as well as industry, and marking a day especially for this conclave, this international conclave, which is exclusively organized to address the various issues and various happenings, innovations in the power sector across the world. So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. And honestly speaking, when I say about or think about the electrical engineering, then I must say that for any individual in today's era, roti, kapda, and makan, apart from these three needs, power is the most essential need at present. And it becomes imperative that the people who are working in the electrical or power sector, they should work hard for uninterruptible power supply. And now the time has come wherein actually the researcher and innovator should work for, apart from uninterruptible power supply, the quality power supply also. So many innovations are going on in this direction. Take it smart grid, or I would say take it the usage of renewable energy. These areas are marking the footprints in the growth of electrical power generation as well as distribution across the India as well as across the world. So I must congratulate the electrical department for taking this particular issue forward, and roping in all the experts to spend at least a day for addressing these issues, as well as even sharing what is happening across the world in this direction. So I hope that today's International Power Conclave organized by electrical department will certainly throw light in this areas, and we will learn out of it so much. And I'm sure that the students of SISTec, as well as the academicians and the researchers, also will take back so many things when we conclude this conclave. So best wishes, and thank you once again, the speakers of today. Thank you so much. Handing over it to Pankaj.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request Professor Ashish Singhal, Head of the Department, Electrical Engineering, SISTec Ratibad, to share his view. Respected sir.
Thank you, Supervisor. As we all know that no pandemic can stop the epidemic. So on the behalf of the electrical department, I welcome all the dignitaries in the International Power Innovation Conclave 2022. It is our pleasure and honor to have you with us. As Dr. Ayush discussed about the objective of this conclave, I personally feel it has also a core functions. And after completion of this conclave, I do believe the students will be able to understand about the recent trends and technologies in relation to the field of renewable energy. Definitely, students will be able to understand or discuss about the various drones technologies used across the world and their market values with the exposures. I personally feel after this conclave, students will be having an idea about different startups, government policies, not the least how to raise the fundings. And also, they will know about the implementation of the robotics in the different areas with the various techniques like artificial intelligence and the augmented reality. So these are the basic outcomes I personally feel will be coming out after the completion of this conclave. With this outcome of this conclave, will certainly get the height of the student and the student will be benefited. With these words, thank you so much once again to everyone to spend a valuable time with us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shubhra.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, inaugural session is over. Now we will start our session with keynote speaker Dr. Tripta Thakur ma'am. Let me give you all the brief introduction about Madam. She is presently working as a Director General, NPTI, Ministry of Power, Government of India. She was earlier Head and Professor, Electrical Engineering Department at Manit, Bhopal. She is a graduate in Electrical Engineering with Master's degree in Power Electronics from IIT Kanpur and has a PhD from IIT Delhi. She has been recipient of several awards such as Commonwealth Research Scholar at University of Dundee, UK, Commonwealth Academic Fellow at Durham University Business School, UK, co-found Senior Researcher at Durham University Business School, visiting faculty at Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, technical member for International Electrotechnical Commercial etc. She has a teaching and research experience of 28 years and has nearly 100 publications to her credit. She has also been a consultant for evolving a possible common South Asian electricity markets. She has done various consultancies for distribution company in India. Now, I would like to invite our special guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Tripta Thakur, to share her view on renewable energies, drone and robot technologies. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to the International Conclave on Renewable Energy 2020. Good morning and to Dr. G.S. Tomar, Dr. Jyoti Deshmukh, Dr. Manish Pilore, Ashish Singhal, and many other dignitaries and the students who are present here. It's a great initiative, and this is the way actually we are continuing our education. And this corona pandemic has given us a tool, and this tool is online training program. And so we are doing, and I hope all the students will actively participate because this conclave are going to address two very important issues. One is renewable energy, another one is drone and robot technologies. And yesterday, only day before yesterday, we have come to know very recent attack in Abu Dhabi through drone. So we can see the importance of these two major technologies which are going to change the world. And as already rightly pointed out by Jyoti Madam, that electricity infrastructure is one of the basic infrastructure, which is the so important that because all other infrastructure will depend on electricity infrastructure sector. So that's why government of India is also working very hard. And I'm very proud to say that in India, we have come up with the greatest challenge, which was demand supply gap. Now there is no demand supply gap in Indian electricity sector, and we are able to provide electricity to all. And the second objective is, as we have achieved this objective of providing electricity to all, the second objective is to provide electricity to all for 24/7, all the time in the day, and good quality electricity supply. That is the second objective, and government is trying very hard and pushing very hard to get this objective. As we all understand that India is the third largest energy consuming country in the world. And as also we are the number third in the world for installed capacity after US and China. And it has also become one of the largest source of energy demand growth globally and has made significant progress in the universal electrification. As I already mentioned, everybody is getting electricity in India. Only thing is that our per capita consumption is still very low as compared to any developed nation. And as we are talking about the pandemic, this has really affected the financial viability of the electricity companies, especially the distribution companies, which are already struggling with a lot of mounting debt and liquidity crunch. And if you want to know about the Indian electricity sector, if you want to compare our generation and transmission, we are really at par with any developed nation. Only in distribution sector we are lacking, and this distribution sector is the weakest link. And distribution sector is very important, as we all know, that because all the money comes back to the system through distribution only. And if your distribution is in trouble, obviously your transmission and generation is also going to be in trouble. So distribution is the main focus nowadays from ministry side. And to improve the distribution sector, the government is coming up with very ambitious policy, which is revamped distribution scheme, RDSS scheme. And under this scheme, the government is planning to expand to put up money in the tune of 3 lakh crore rupees in the next 3 years. There's a huge amount of money which government is going to put up to put reforms and do the correction in the distribution sector. And this scheme has two major components. One is infrastructure improvement, and another one is capacity building and training component. So I'm very proud to say that NPTI is the nodal agency for implementing RDSS scheme, especially in capacity building and training program. So beside this, India really faces three major challenges. One is how to expand reliable energy access and use while maintaining affordability for the consumers in terms of financial stability for the discoms, which is the focus of, as already mentioned, it's a focus of Government of India. And how at the same time to integrate increasing share of renewable energy in a secure and reliable manner. And this is the important point which I would like to talk and put in front of you, that India is coming up in a massive way for renewable energy addition. And we are going to put in front of the world the most ambitious energy targets. In Paris, started with the Paris Summit, COP 22, sorry, and we have put up the target of adding 175 gigawatt by 2022. We are already in 2022 and we are already in the process of achieving this objective. And the COP 26 summit recently took place in Glasgow. India has put another target of 500 gigawatt addition by 2030. So we are the leaders and in renewable energy, especially in solar. And I'm very proud to say that in India, we are having one international agencies which is having headquarters in India. Otherwise, all international agencies like World Bank, like UNDP and other organizations, they have headquarters in somewhere in developed nation. But International Solar Alliance is having headquarters in Gurgaon in India. So we are really is the leader in the renewable energy, and we want to become leader because we are so fortunate that availability of sun for 300 days is there in India. So we need to tap this potential. Or if we talk about our culture, we are always praying to the Lord Sun as our rituals. Early morning, putting jal in front of sun, Suraj Devta, and our ancestors, our rishis are always having the understanding and importance of sun. That's why we are always doing worshipping. And this is the time when the worship law, when our worship is going to give us a fruit. And Sun Devta is very happy, and we need to take and tap this potential which is India is having, and that's why we are going to be leader in this area. But only issue which is coming up, we are adding a lot of renewable energy, but how to integrate this renewable energy so that our grid becomes secure and reliable and work reliably. That is the main issue. A lot of research work is going on in this direction. A lot of PhD work is also going on in this direction, that how to solve the system integration issues. The third another principal challenge India is facing beside this energy access and making this form financially viable and the integration of the renewable energy. Third one is how to reduce emission to achieve ambitious social and climate objective while meeting economic good. So all we understand that the world is facing two major challenges. One is energy security, and the second one is environmental concern. And if you want to ask me what is the solutions to meet both the challenges, the solution is only one, and that only one solution is renewable energy. So as we all know that the environmental concern is really an issue. We cannot say that global warming is a future tense. It is very, very present tense. So we need to look after for this also, and that's why we want to produce electricity in a manner where we are able to achieve reduce emission. And that's why the government of India is not having any objective to put new thermal power plant, but to expand our renewable energy in the future. So these are the three major challenges, and we are going to talk about the renewable energy, which is growing, renewable, increasingly happening in India. And as I already mentioned, we are the leader in this. So renewable energy penetration is highly variable in India, and you all know that solar and wind are the two major resources where we are looking forward for renewable energy penetration. And some of the states, because are very rich in these two, solar and wind, these are mostly the southern states: Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Punjab, and Kerala. And that's why this share of India's renewable rich states are already having higher share in the contribution of renewable energy resources. And as a result, these states are already facing major system integration challenges. So, as we are going forward, we need to take care of these challenges, and we need to take care of how to do the proper integration so that our integration is reliable and secure. So, as you might be knowing, there is a power system operation done by POSOCO. This is the Power System Operation Corporation, a wholly owned public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Power. And they have highlighted that national level inertia has declined slightly from 2040 level, and India does not face system inertia challenges for integration. However, in the future, when we are going to increasing share of solar and wind power, the renewable rich state, which I have already mentioned, will be going to experience periods when wind and solar make up the majority of generation, and it will then become imperative to monitor a local system strength and inertia requirement. So they have published a very good report, and I will request all of you to go through this POSOCO report to understand this issue for the system integration. So in this way, India is taking all the potential and making, as already mentioned, that smart grid is going to become one of the new arena. So there is a lot of work which is going on in terms of regulation, in terms of framing policy, in terms of tariff reforms, so that we can have the demand response potential through this new addition of renewable energy. So there is a lot of scope in India, and when we want to talk about our Atmanirbhar Bharat, we really need to become Atmanirbhar in this, because we know that whatever solar panel till date are coming from China, and the government of India is very cautious nowadays that we should use everything which are manufactured in India. So there is a lot of such, and we already know that Adani and Reliance Power has already put an ambitious plan in the area of renewable energy. So soon we are going to see that we have no need in future to buy solar PV panels from China. They will be available in India itself, and solar rooftop systems are having a lot of potential for meeting our local demands. So already we are in this also, and because of some constraint, there is a little bit problem whenever there is any surplus. So that issue is also government is going to tackle very soon. And the government has one Kusum policy. And this Kusum policy, why I'm going to mention to you, because I know that our main objective is not to create engineers, but also to create entrepreneurs. And in here, you would like to address this, in this conclave, you would like to address this issue as well. So in this Kusum scheme, actually, the government is putting a lot of money in the form of subsidies, in the form of loans, so that entrepreneurs can come up. Even the small farmers can avail this scheme, Kusum scheme, and can have electricity. And under this scheme, what government is focusing, that we always understood that the agriculture people are not paying any money for agriculture loan. But now the feeder segregation work is completed in many states and ongoing in many states. So if we are able to achieve 100% feeder segregation for agriculture feeder, then we can know that how much electricity is going to be consumed for the pump for the irrigation purpose. And when we have a feeder segregation, we know that one feeder is dedicated for the supply providing in the villages. So these people can be metered and can pay electricity bill, but we really would like to subsidize. The government still are very careful, because we are agrarian society and we still know that our farmers are facing a lot of issues. So for them, actually, the Kusum scheme, and for the budding entrepreneurs, this Kusum scheme are going to open a new panorama of business opportunity. And even if the governments are willing to implement this Kusum scheme, the government state electricity companies, not the boards now. So they can also take a lot of loans. In fact, if they implement Kusum scheme, the agriculture people need not to pay anything in future if they are going completely for solar energy. So this is such a huge potential for entrepreneurship in India, and I'm very sure that Indian people are very smart entrepreneurs, and we have already seen the success of unicorn in India. And I'm very sure that these people who are attending today's convention, they will take the motivation to become an entrepreneurs and come up in the area of renewable energy, lot of scope in future. And when a lot of things are going to come up, there is a need for even service providers who can take care of the maintenance, who can take care of any wear and tear and anything for the system integration issues. So there's a huge potential, and even for the employability, uh, many companies, if they are going to invest so much money in the renewable energy, they are looking forward for people who are expert in this area. And I also would like to mention to you here, not a promotion for NPTI, but NPTI is running PGDCA program, 1 year PGDCA program, where we are going to place 100% placement. And through this PGDCA program, where only engineers can participate, now we are running in 3 centers of NPTI in India: Bangalore, Faridabad, Madhapur, and Durgapur. And in this renewable energy, our people are really hired by Adani Power, Reliance, Tata Power, and they really want. When I was discussing with these people that what we should incorporate so that I can fill the gap, and you can get the people who are ready to serve you. So they are always saying that we need to create people who can implement the project management in the renewable energy. That is one thing they want. Second thing they want, that people should understand how to do the maintenance of this renewable energy system. So we are providing this kind of trainings to the people so that they can get a better employment through the company. So student, these are the two areas. And also when we are talking about drone, even in electricity sector, the government is doing a lot of projects in terms of pilot projects, how we can use drones for the transmission system, how we can use drones for maintenance purpose and for monitoring purpose. So a lot of scopes is going to come up in the area of drone and robotics in future. So that's why I really would like to congratulate the Department of Electrical Engineering, SISTec, for taking initiative and talking about these two major areas, renewable and drone and robotics, which are going to come up in a massive way and going to create a lot of job and as well as entrepreneurship opportunity. So with this, I really would like to thanks once again for inviting me, and I'm very open for any kind of discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge with us. Now, I would request Professor Kavita Kushwa, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering, to give vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Madam, before we proceed for the vote of thanks, Madam, I would like to really appreciate the entire team of NITI under your leadership, that you are able to establish a efficient and a powerful ecosystem in the entire country. So please accept my congratulations and best wishes, so that the entire team can do more such wonders. And from number 3 in the entire world, let us hope that we shall be number 1 in the entire world, particularly in the renewable energy sources. Also, generation and power efficiency. I would like to add one thing, madam, and make one request to you. You mentioned about a lot of schemes the government of India is having. You also mentioned about the Kusum scheme, You mentioned about a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities that are open to these engineering graduates and engineering students. We at SISTec are trying hard, and we have got quite good success in bringing up our projects up to certain level of getting the actual or real world solutions to the problems. So my request to you would be that if somebody from your team can send us a couple of problems that are faced by the real world, be it the farmers or the industry sector or the household energy distribution. If you can have a couple of problems or a set of problems from your side, then perhaps we shall be able to enhance the quality of the selection of our project, and also we shall be able to bring our projects up to next higher level so that they can really give or propose some solution to the real world problems. So listening to, I'm highly inspired, motivated, and I'm sure all the faculty members and the students, those who are listening to your talk, must be equally inspired, equally energized and motivated. So with your association, with your guidance and with your mentorship, if we can one step ahead in student projects, put maybe a percent or 5% we shall be able to contribute what NPTI is already doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manish. We will certainly talk, and I'll tell my faculty to be in touch with you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay, over to Kavita ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all present in this session of International Power Innovation Conclave 2022. On the behalf of SISTec Ratibad Electrical Engineering Department, it is our privilege and honor to have you all with us. We are fortunate to have some of the eminent persons from academics, industry, and other areas working on renewable energy, robot, and drone technologies. I'm sure that our participants will definitely get benefited by attending this event. We are grateful to you, ma'am, for kindly accepting our invitation and taking the time to be a keynote speaker. Your presence and enlightening words help magnify our cause in the best possible way. Thank you, ma'am, for getting aware about distribution areas and challenges in renewable energy. We are also thankful to Dr. G.S. Tomar, sir, Chairman of IEEE MP subsection, to be a special guest of the session. We also would like to thank the prominent national and international expert for the IPIC 2022. We know that your time is precious and we are thankful to you for being the expert in this event. We believe that the knowledge you are going to share will help our participant in the career. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all the experts. Over to Shubhna, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's start the session one with a quote. Technology is best when it brings people together. Now let's begin today's session one on renewable energy. In discussion panel, we are having Dr. G.S. Tomar, Chairman IEEE MP subsection, Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa, Professor MITS Gwalior, and Dr. Shailendra Rajput, Research Associate, Ariel University, Israel. And the moderator of this session is Professor Prasant Kumar, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering, SISTec Ratibad. Before handing over this session to moderator, let me give the brief introduction of expert one by one. First, Dr. G.S. Tomar. Professor Tomar, currently a chairman IEEE MP subsection, as well as a director, Government Engineering College, Sonbhadra, UP. He received his UG, PG and PhD degree in electronics engineering from reputed University of India. He was also serving as a director of THD Uttarakhand, Malwa Institute of Technology and Management, Gwalior, and R&D advisory of MP City Group of College Gwalior. He is actively involved in research and consultancies in the field of air interface and advanced communication network. He is actively involved in IEEE activities and has organized more than 10 international conferences in India and other countries. He is a visiting professor in Hanam University, Korea, Thapar University, Patiala, and many other institutes of repute. He has served in Triple ITM and other institutes of national importance. He received International Pluto Award from Academic Excellence in 2009 from Cambridge, UK. He was listed in 100 top researcher of the world in 2009. He is a chief editor of many international journals and has published more than 100 research papers in international journals and conferences, and has written many books, two of which are published by Springer, Germany. His emphasis on spreading research activity in the pocket of India where research activities are at low level. So the second speaker of this session is Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa. Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa is working as a professor in Mechanical Engineering Department, MITS Gwalior. He has done BE from Sati Vidisha and MTech from Manit Bhopal. He has obtained his PhD from University of Leeds, UK. He has received awards like MP Young Scientist Award 2004 for developing a domestic and turbine, Outstanding Young Person Award, Gwalior, Best Teacher Award, Gwalior, and having more than 100 research papers published in international journals. The next speaker is Dr. Shailendra Rajput. Dr. Shailendra Rajput is a research associate in Ariel University, Israel. Dr. Rajput received the BSc MSc Physics degree from Hari Singh Gaur University, Sagar in 2006 and 2008 respectively. Later, he received the MPhil degree from School of Physics, Devi Ahilya University, Indore. Dr. Rajput received the PhD degree from the Department of Physics, Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi in 2014. His main research work is associated with energy harvesting, solar energy storage, ferroelectricity, piezoelectricity, and biomedical application of electromagnetic waves. He is the co-author of 37 peer-reviewed research papers in the International Journal and 7 peer-reviewed papers in conference proceedings. He also presented research work at 17 conferences of national and international repute. Now, I will hand over this session to our moderator, Professor Prasant Kovar. Over to you, sir.
Prashant, your mic is
Sir,
off.
your mic is
You're
mute.
muted.
Thank you, sir. Dear learners, you can skip this session if you don't want to know trends and technologies in the future of energy. You can skip this session if you don't want to make yourself market trendy and industry ready. I, Professor Prashant Kumar, IPIC 2022 Session 1 moderator, welcome you all. In this session, we are going to discuss the future of energy, which should be clean and sustainable, and no doubt it is renewable energy. Now we are proceeding with session 1. In the panel discussion, we have 3 distinguished speakers from different domains, such as research scientists and industry experts from national and international forums. Let's start this session with the foremost common question from the learner's perspective. First, I would like to take the expert opinion of Dr. G.S. Tomar sir. Sir, how can the students make their career in the field of renewable energy, and how can they take maximum advantage of government policies? Dr. G.S. Tomar sir.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant. In fact, if you are really eager to take something, then you need to have that zeal inside you. Generally, what we have observed that whenever we discuss somewhere on some forum, for first day they are very eager to learn everything. Next day they will think of it, and third day they will be somewhere else. So that concept of our students has really let them down to the level for which we are really very much concerned about it. You must have seen that there are schemes when you discuss on some forum, like today, Dr. Tripta ma'am has discussed few schemes, and we are not aware. If we are not aware, then how can we make students aware? So first of all, it's our duty to be always need to know everything whatever is related to your field. Suppose you are working in electronics, electrical field, I am working in electronics or computer science, then we should also know what are the various schemes available. And it is nowadays it's available on some portal, this portal or that portal, and we do not have time. So the students have to know these things, that what is their future goal. The day they enter in college, they become engineer. So that concept has to be taken away from their brain. They need to know how to learn new things, because whenever they come, they have, or always they are on complaining mode. Whether I am there or you are there, on that generation, generally we are on in complaining mode. So we should not be in complaining mode. First of all, you need to brush up your brain. And when you do this, for that you need to have good interaction, and interaction with the like-minded people or unlike-minded people. Especially when we talk about energy field, there are very small countries. Tripta ma'am have said that we are at third in world, but she has not told who is at first. On number one, it is Denmark, which is very small country. And if you see that even the sea they have captured for wind energy, they do not have a place to install the wind turbines, then they have used sea level. So inside the sea, you will find that there around 40% of wind energy is inside the sea. It means all these things, if we know, then certainly you will find that if it is costly, from where we will have funding. Then you have many funding agencies. If not, then institutes should go for collaboration with the industry. There are people ready to fund, provided you have some idea. Another plight of our, especially electrical or any core branch, is that we get very less students, and that too when they do not have admission in computer science, they come to these core branches. So your startup itself is with the negative mindset. But one thing is there, you need to encourage these students that after 2-3 years, if everyone is computer science engineer or operator, rather than they are operator, then who will work for core issues? So those core issues, when we talk about, like ma'am also said, that entrepreneurship and other these things which are coming up, or anything, it comes from society. So you need to open up your eyes, your ear and your brain when you walk through the society, that what are the problems for which you need solution. And when you talk about solution, it needs funds. And when you talk about funds, certainly if you approach industry that you fund me for this idea, then you need to justify it. If they think that ROI is there, it means return on investment is good, they will fund your idea. So for that, you need to first justify your problem with the proper DPR. And when you have good DPR, anyone is there, or whoever is having money will fund, whether he is from industry or from, even there are many investors, those who want to fund without name. So you can go to them also, because they do not want to enter in this business, but certainly they want to pump their funds. So there are many opportunities, but for that you need to have some basic knowledge, basic idea, And then if you have good DPR, then you know that what is the requirement of investment, and then government schemes are there. But let me be very critical that 50% of schemes are just on paper, and if you go for that, you will just waste your time, because everyone is aware of this babu culture of our country. So it is better to approach industry, or if you have some good schemes available online, then sometimes you may get. But when it is offline, you don't go for that offline system at all, because we have been doing this. So but online system are available somewhere, and some departments are there, especially this renewable energy department is there, and you have many schemes. But for this, if you plan an energy park, then not only this solar system, you plan for wind, you plan for bio also. So everything should be at one place. Though we have sufficient energy available, but it's very costly. So even if you plan for this energy park, then try to go for some collaboration with manufacturers, because when you talk about solar energy, the cells are a bit costly. From where you can get cheap cells, and then these panels are of various categories. So don't go for the cells which are just after 5 or 10 years you have no efficiency. So you need to open up all around, then only you can have good outcome. So that is what my idea is. But certainly, and further we will discuss with other experts also, so many things will come out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I am truly grateful to you for sharing your knowledge. Respected Dr. Selendra Rajput, sir, I
Yes.
strongly feel renewable energy is a clear winner when it comes to boosting the economy and creating jobs. Now, I'm inviting Dr. Selendra Rajput, sir, to share your opinion on how solar energy is impacting the Indian and global economy. Sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for organizing this event and to inviting me. So, whenever we are talking about any new technology or any new device or any new thing, so the common man questions how much money or how much money we will save or how much money we need to invest. So, for the renewable energy, especially solar, so there is a lot of discussion about it is good for our economy or not. So if we consider some data, so recently we are using almost 4% of total energy using the solar, and in coming 20 years or maybe coming 25 years, it will increase. Maybe we will use solar energy 10 folds the presently we are using. So what is the economic benefit? So the first benefit is the drastic reduction in the electricity price, the bills. If you compare the electricity price, the fossil fuels what we are using now, or you compare the price with the solar energy, so the solar energy is much cheaper. So obviously for the common man, means the cheaper is good. And recently we saw the price of fuels, especially the petrol, diesel, and the our cooking gas is increasing very rapidly. And in our country, we don't have all these energy sources, so we need to import the petrol, diesel from other country, and so we are spending a lot of money on this. So it's affecting our economy. If we can fulfill our energy demand by the solar or the wind or the other renewable energy sources, then we can spend that money to the other welfare schemes. So it will also boost up our economy. And as a Indian, because we have the tropical zone, we are in the tropical zones, and so almost we have about to almost 300 clear sunny days in a year. So the theoretical calculation shows that means the solar energy incidence in India, means all over the India, is about 5,000 trillion kilowatt hours. So we have lot of scope to increase the solar energy production, and because solar is cheaper, so it will help to boost up the economy. And as a point of job, so means there are a lot of research done by many economists, like solar industry is adding job faster to the Indian economy. And also there is research by the International Renewable Energy Agency, and they found that in the year of 2018, the Indian solar sector created almost more than 1 lakh employment in India. And recently, the proposal by the central government, so they also found that in the coming year, in 2022, the solar energy industry may generate almost 1.6 million jobs. And so all of this factor will boost the economy. And the other benefit of solar energy is because we can see the economy and environment, they just go hand in hand for the sustainable growth. So we need to pay the price of economic growth at the cost of environment. So the use of renewable energy sources, like like solar or hydro or the wind, will help us to protect our environment. And recently, our government in the climate summit proposed that we will increase the renewable energy contribution to our energy demand. So all these factor will help to boost up the economy. And when economy will boost up, so our country will develop. So if you see all the developed country, so most of the developed country, they are using the renewable energy sources to protect their environment, also to boost up their economy. This is my point for the economic aspect of solar energy or the renewable energy.
Thank you, sir. I totally agree with your opinion. The potential of renewable energy is immense. Dear learners, it's high time to talk about some impactful applications of solar or renewable energy, where students can make themselves future ready. Now, I would like to take the opinion of Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa, sir. Dear sir, what are the scopes of renewable energy in the field of vehicle, and how do students make themselves market ready for this sector? Sir.
Good morning, all. I think questions are different from 1 to 3. Just to make myself aware, how many students are listening this thing? I'm seeing some of the very good morning in the chat boxes. Coordinator, sir, could you please answer me?
Sir, 100 plus students.
Fantastic, because yes, because when first question arises, so I just prepared the answer for this thing. Dr. Tomar has explained fantastically of this thing. Yes, for the now for my period, so I'll take 5 minutes for speaking on this fantastic thing. These days, when I was in the UK and there's a Leeds University, I was doing PhD over there. Then I realized that already the one road was dedicated to run electrical vehicles, and there are two supply for the electrical vehicles, not only in the road but in the our side also. Okay, well, of course, Denmark is the number one, and the UK is well-managed country. This is the possible for India. And for the electrical vehicles, we are trying to develop many other for this thing. And electrical vehicles are using BLDC technology, which is working earlier already in our fans as well. And now fan power is reduced from 60 to 20 watts. And many companies are coming up for their indigenous power supply. Even the day before yesterday, one man came over here to discuss this thing. But unfortunately, I am not on the field of the not in the field of the electrical or electronics. I am basically the mechanical engineers. I can talk more about the policies and the structural values for the solar energy. So I will take 3 minutes to tell you what points I had noted down. Like Mr. Rajput told about the calculation for the various different points of the how these things are coming up. One is called LCOE. Like Dr. Tomar also said, that students should learn, of course. So I'm giving some keywords so student can learn. So even my one paper on cover up over here, why we are paying at our home the 8 rupees per unit, and we are selling from the REWA to DMRC in 1 rupees 93 paisa. So there is a name is called LCOE. Please note down the keyword, then you can go and prepare your entry word. The recently day for yesterday, Madhya Pradesh Urja Navkaraniya Mantralaya has started one quiz on the solar energy as well, and they are the what we say initiator for implementing this RESCO. So second keyword is RESCO, RESCO power, and on the 45 sites they have installed all over the Madhya Pradesh, various sites over there. So there are various job opportunities because 1 megawatt plant give 39 jobs. Of course, from the manufacturing for till maintenance and the calculation. So 1 megawatt plant is giving you 39 jobs. What are the different jobs? We can further categorize like service side, and second is the product side. And I have 10 business ideas. You can check my website somewhere. 10 business ideas on the solar. I'm not taking time for explaining that thing. Second, Dr. Tomar told about the DPR. Of course, for the urban, if you are doing some urban project, there are various projects for the smart city. If you want to do something in rural, there is a NABARD. NABARD has 8 different type of schemes. And second, they are supporting for DIC, but do not apply for till March because they have cover up their all. They have exhausted their all fundings. So start applying in April. Next point, I want to take over the because everybody is working from home, so there are 8 different types of tools. Those who can do economic analysis, site analysis, shadow analysis, break-even point and multiple calculation, radiation analysis, 330 days, 300 days, LCOE, all calculations are possible for the solar. There are 8 open source tools which are available on the internet. You can practice and learn through till the 3 months. Now, of course, सर ने बहुत बढ़िया कहा है कि बाबू कल्चर के थ्रू हमको फंडिंग नहीं मिलती है, इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं कि आपको मॉरेटोरियम की किस्त होती है, 35 से लेकर 45% तक सब्सिडी है, बट यू शुड अप्लाई in the April because the funding is exhausted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving this detailed analysis of the sector and guiding our learners. Dear learners, do you know every second our sun produces enough energy to sustain Earth's need for 500 million years. But the major challenge is how do we harness this power? Recently, India achieved the 5th global position in solar power deployment by surpassing Italy. But India's solar cells and modules imports fell $571.65 million in the last financial year. And this is pain for every Indian. Now I am requesting all experts to share their technical opinion on this general question. And the question is, can India be the next solar manufacturing hub? If yes, then what is your analysis? First, I am inviting Dr. G.S. Tomar sir to share his opinion. Sir. Okay, I am requesting Dr. Selendra Rajput sir to share his opinion.
Okay, thank you. So actually, the question is, can India be next solar manufacturing hub? So my answer is yes, but there are a lot of points we need to think about it. Like as the demand of solar energy is increasing in India, and there are a lot of industry. So the demand of solar panels, the inverters, or the related hardware also increasing, and we need to import all these most of the part of this solar system from China, Vietnam, or Europe. If you see the industrial report, so in last 5 years, if I'm not wrong, India is already imported almost $16 billion solar equipment, and in coming, because demand is increasing, and maybe we will import almost $42 billion solar equipment by 2019. So for Indian industry, we need to compete with the Chinese manufacturer because the Chinese panels are much cheaper and their industry are well equipped, well set up. So we need to compete with them. And our government launched this scheme, the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So under this scheme, we can be a solar manufacturing hub, but there are a lot of things we need to do. Firstly, The government should provide the subsidy to the industry who want to engage in the renewable energy sectors. And the most important, we need to motivate the public or the society to use more and more renewable energy sources. Like in villages, the government started to distribute the solar energy pump, but still many of the villagers, they are not interested to buy this solar energy pump. Even the government is giving a very heavy subsidy. So I have some friend. I discussed with them, and they told me because the normal electricity is quite cheap in rural area. So why we will buy this solar energy plants, or the solar energy operated the pump, the water pump. So we need to create this atmosphere in the public, and we need to create some awareness program so that we will use more and more solar or the more and more renewable energy plants. Second, as we already discussed, as already Tomar sir said and the Malvi sir said, the Babu culture, we need to reduce the bureaucratic red tape to establish new industry. I was in China for 2 years, and I had some Chinese friend, the businessman, and I discussed with them. So in China, if someone want to install a new industry for anything, the Chinese government provide a free land, a very cheap electricity for the industry. So this type of culture we need to develop in India if we want to set up, if we want to be a solar manufacturing hub. So there are three things. Firstly, we need to aware the public to use more and more solar, and we need to make the not we and like for the government also, we need to make such environment for the industry so they can be they can partner in this solar energy manufacturing. And also means the bureaucratic process we need to anyhow, if you want to compete with China, because if you want to compete with China, then you need to reduce the price, and we don't have any other option. And we need to maintain the quality also. So by making the quality, if you want to reduce the price, then only we need to provide some good relaxation to the industry. So that's this my point on this.
Thank you, sir. Now requesting Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa, sir, to share his opinion.
Very relevant question. Thank you, Rajput sir, already giving some the data so people other can understand this thing. Okay. So of course, this is important export is thing coming up, and it's solar means it's not a solar panel. It's a complete balance of a system. Or we are talking only for the solar photovoltaic power plant, not the thermal technology, and there are 18 different technology. We are not talking for this. So if we are only considering for the solar photovoltaic plant import, of course, for the balance of system, many things are getting imported. Even when this Jawaharlal Solar Mission was started, they have 100% foreign investment was free. There is no tax. Now, later, after in July, I think July 19, government started putting taxes on that thing. First, what they did, they stopped subsidy. Okay, fantastic. After that, in the last September, they put GST 5% over that thing, because the companies that are already making money out of that thing. Now they have increased that from 5 component to 12 component. The GST has increased from 5% to I think 9 or 12% GST on the solar different type of component. This is the taxes services. Now your question, whether India can become number one. Now, so when we talk about the solar cell, if you're talking the solar cell, generally, what company you heard? You heard Wari, Tata Power, Vikram, Adani, Microtech, Loom, Moserware, or there are many. Generally, Adani is coming. And we are targeting for the 500 gigawatt. Now, and we have around 3,000 listed companies though who manufacture solar panels, but not the solar cell. So India is, however, the targeting for the 500 gigawatt, they are producing a very minute amount, that is 3 gigawatt. It means all panels are getting imported. Okay, import that we do import. Why? We do manufacture some solar cell, but we do not manufacture solar wafer, which is being used for things. Because they say in the pollution department is a different one. They say there's some type of the disease come up with the sarcoidosis. I heard, so please do not consider this my answer. So if you do not make a wafer, so if you are printing on the solar cell, these are another point. Now, second point, if you make solar cell, And in a solar cell, if a half container of the solar cell means half truck of the supply, the whole company costing in going this thing. If this, so insurance is another point. Okay, so we have to take care of this, the technology, DCs, and this exporting from transporting from one point to another point. But we are very good in making solar panels. It means we import solar cell and we put on the we solder it, we put in the series and parallel system, and we make solar panel. We call it solar module. Now there are different types of solar cells are coming. They're solar panels, not the cell. So they are the PERC type, that is the PERC solar cell, or cut solar cell, or if they are shadow solar cell, or maybe a bifacial solar cell, or single or monocrystalline, polycrystalline already were there. So the company was started, like there's a small company over in the Gwalior as well. There's a small company, they make only 3-watt solar panel. So then I was asking only why we are working this type of solar cell, because they say that there's a demand in the villages to charge their mobile phones. Only this one, because it's a lockdown period and they want to charge only mobile phone. So if we target only some section, like we will produce only 3-watt panel, and now I will produce a solar panel which can run only a TV, or which can run only one fan and one tube light, and we can develop a microgrid. So this sector can be easily achieved, and we can be a good number one in the field. If we are taking the whole, so still I'm not very optimistic for that. It will take still another some decades to achieve that one, because we are producing and we are consuming this thing. Okay, thank you, sir. And to achieve this thing, to produce this thing, there are various schemes you develop. So you should not dream to compete with the Vikram Adani or something. You always should start from the one step, make a small panel for one purpose only. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Due to some technical glitches, GS Tomar sir is not available now for the discussion. So we are moving forward. Dear experts, some questions are coming from learner side. So for learner contents, I would like to ask one more question for their updates. So sir, my question is, renewable energy, please update our learners about some key renewable energy industries in India where students from the private colleges can start their career. For this question, I would like to invite first Dr. Selendra Rajput, sir. Sir.
Okay, so actually, I think there are some company. I heard the name like Tata Power Solar Systems, and one is Suzlon, and Renew Power Ventures. There are some companies where student can apply for the like their projects. Means the final year projects or for the internship. So they provide means the student can go there and do some research and can do some project also. And an institute also like IIT Kanpur also they took the student for the final year project. You can apply. The student can apply there. Like in IIT Kanpur, they have very good facility for the solar systems. So there are some, as per my point of view, or like in Israel, we have a lot of industry. So like our university collaborated with a lot of industry, and so our student go there for the research, and also our means we also collaborated with the industry. So there are some common projects, and we have some bachelor and master student. We ask them to go to the industry, and we gave them some small objectives to fulfill, like sometimes the simulation of the MPPT system, and to use some algorithm for the parameter estimation. So like there should be some lot of industry which are interested to hire the student for short-term research project or the internship, because it will also help these industry to in the final, because if the student are doing project with them, so the company know their potential of the students. So in the hiring process, they can also use all the system. Like if the student working with the company, so company know the student and student know the company, which company are good for the job also.
Thank you, sir. Now I am inviting Dr. Chandrasekhar Malwa, sir, for his opinion.
Yes, yeah. So I give you two website name. First is central government, and all energy company are listed with them. The one name is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. In short, we call it MNRE. So those whosoever do business in energy side, they have to be listed in channel partner, or they file some A certificate and double certificate as well. And the clearly mentioned renewable is not only, so they talk about the solar and solar thermal, solar electrical. After that, the wind power, and just wind power is achieved. Wind power, then the hydro power. So most of the company for the hydro power or water power, then the biofuel other side. Okay, so you will get all the listed channels. They are the PDF document of about 80 pages, and they are very good, detailed, listed. Even they write in detail those who are channel partner, those who are the local center. So if you simply press F5 by keyboard in your system, if you find your name like Betul, Bhopal, Gwalior, there will be a center, those who are representing MNRE or they are listed for the MNRE. So you can start from there. Otherwise, they are the big companies. They take only the megawatt power plant. You have to approach them, but they need some of the, you should have basic knowledge like Tata Power, Indian Biogas Association, Renew Power, M Plus, Shell, and Sujlon. Now some shares are being bought by our Indian government for the Sujlon. Sujlon was not performing well. So these type the energy. Second, if you see there's what if you put simple, if you follow the stock market, in the stock market there's a segment for the energy and there's a segment for the renewable energy. So energy companies you can find, and you can check whether really these companies are working or not. So you put and you will get the detailed answer for this one. This was the central government. If you want to the state government, particularly Bhopal, they have renewed its name. The name is Madhya Pradesh Navkaraniya Urja Navkaraniya Mantralay. So you can visit their website. Even their website is segmented in these type, classified in these type of area, and how much target they have achieved, and how much you can do this thing. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear learners, let's move forward with the new interesting topic. Dear experts, please share your opinions, because this is a somehow contest of our learners also. What is the status of renewable energy in India? Means we are talking about current status and what will be the future potentials in the field of renewable energy. For that discussion, I would like to ask again Dr. Selendra Rajput sir first. Sir, please.
So current status we already discussed. Me and Dr. Malvi and Dr. Tomar also said what is the current status of solar or the renewable energy in India. In the future, yeah, obviously we have very bright future in the renewable energy, and we should use the renewable energy. That is the compulsion because to protect the environment, to protect our environment. So, as the Tripta madam said in the beginning, like India is the founding member of International Solar Alliance, and we have the office in India in Gurgaon for this alliance, and we are in the tropical zone. So this means the solar energy is most favorable for the Indian society and the Indian industry. And recently, this climate summit, we promised like. Um, we will use almost 100 gigawatt solar. Means in the Paris Agreement, our government promised that the means out of 175 gigawatt, 100 gigawatt is come from the solar. So we have in future we have lot of opportunity in the renewable energy sectors for the both the student, the researcher, and for the industry. So there are a lot of options, and as per the market analysis, Indian renewable energy sector is the fourth most attractive energy market in the world, and India was ranked fourth in wind power, and fifth in solar power, and fourth in renewable power installed capacity, as the previous year analysis. And regarding the other energy sources like nuclear energy, so there are different type of views about the nuclear energy. Means there are some positive views, some are negative views because this carbon emissions. And wind energy is also feasible, but not feasible all over the India, and some part is wind energy very feasible. So we have the solar and the hydropower. We can, like in the dam, we are getting the hydropower. So the solar energy market, there are a lot of scope, and the solar energy have the bright future in India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm requesting Dr. Malvi sir to share his opinion.
धन्यवाद प्रशांत कुमार जी। इस प्रश्न का उत्तर तृप्ता मैडम ने बड़ा डिटेल दिया था की नोट में, और राजपूत जी ने बताया। अतः मैं हिंदी में बताता हूं इसके अंदर प्रेजेंट के लिए। आशा करता हूं सभी लोगों को हिंदी आती होगी। कि भाई अभी तक क्या है कि इंडिया वर्ल्ड के लार्जेस्ट कंज्यूमर में है। किसमें? कंज्यूमर में है, 3rd नंबर पर, और लार्जेस्ट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की प्रोड्यूसर भी है, जो कि 38% हमने बताया, 38%। और 2020 में ये 136 गीगावाट को और 373 गीगावाट को अचीव कर लिया था। ये तो हो गया प्रेजेंट स्टेटस। और प्रेजेंट स्टेटस के अंदर चूंकि हमको बोलते हैं भारत का प्रायद्वीप जो है बहुत बड़ा है, इसका मतलब उसका गुजरात से लेके नीचे से लेके तो पूरा बंगाल तक जाते हैं, तो बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा जो है वो समुद्र से जुड़ा हुआ है, और वहां पर विंड पावर बहुत होती है। तो पिछले 1 साल पहले ही विंड पावर सोलर से ज्यादा थी। विंड पावर को सोलर ने केवल अभी 8-10 महीने पहले ही क्रॉस किया है इंस्टॉलेशन के अंदर, क्योंकि विंड पावर की टेक्नोलॉजी मैच्योर हो चुकी है और उसका प्लांट लग जाता है, और वो 24 घंटे काम करता है। कई बार तो सोलर में तो क्या है, वो 8 घंटे काम करता है। तो विंड पावर की टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत है, और विंड पावर अभी तक नंबर 1 थी रिन्यूएबल के अंदर, उसको पार कर दिया। अब चूंकि सोलर के अंदर इंपोर्ट हो गया, टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप हो गई, 18 अलग अलग तरीके से सोलर सेल बनने लगे, हमारे यहाँ बनने लगे, तो हमने उस टारगेट को उठा के 175 गीगावाट को उठा के हमने क्या कर दिया, 500 गीगावाट कर दिया, और 2030 तक इसको अचीव करना है। तो ये फ्यूचर है हमारा। इस फ्यूचर को ही मैं बता रहा हूं कि जब भी 1 मेगावाट जनरेट करना होगा तो उसमें करीब 40 जॉब आएंगे। तो आप पहले मेगावाट को गीगावाट में कन्वर्ट करो और उसको 40 से गुणा कर दो, तो इतनी सारी नौकरियां हैं। शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to somehow conclude the session. But before concluding, I am requesting our experts, please share their opinion and suggestions to our learners, so they can learn something extra. Thank you, sir. For that, I am requesting Dr. Rajput, sir, first.
So I think the most of the learner here are the student. I think some of the BTech students, some of the MTech student. So I think firstly, you need to develop some research mindset. Like solar energy need a lot of advancement. Like sir said, Malvi sir said, the wind energy is already technology developed, and recently our main focus in this session is most of the for the solar energy discussion. So in solar there are a lot of scope for the improvement, like how still now the solar energy means for the panels, the efficiency of solar energy plants are not very high, and all over the world the researchers and scientists they are trying to improve the efficiency of solar panels so we can get the maximum power output from the solar energy, because as economic point of view, because we are investing some money, so we want to get most of the maximum output. So the student can like even the institute can also ask their student to develop scientific temperament to how can we improve the solar energy is the maximum output. There are a lot of method to the various researchers are working, like our group is also working, like to develop some new algorithm, okay, to develop most efficient MPPT system. And also sometimes we have the partial shading, like we have cloud or one of panel is broken, so the whole plant is shut down. So how can we avoid this situation? So these are the some things a student can think about, means how can we improve the solar efficiency. It will also, like they can for their final year project, like for BTech they have the 8th semester project. For MTech the 1 year is research project, so they can start there, or they can do their research in the solar energy system or other renewable energy system like wind and this biofuels, the thermal power and hydropower also. So this is how can we say, this is kind of process of learning. So they can learn also with this, and also they can in future it will also help to get some good job in industry.
Thank you, sir. For the same contest, our learners are expecting the suggestion of Dr. C.S. Malvi, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you. I will take 2-3 minutes. I will suggest learners to keep pen and paper ready. So I'm reading out 10 different ideas from my article, so they can start their list. Research point of view, Dr. Rajput has already told fantastic things. So I'm giving the number one is solar panel installation. There is a domestic type, balance of system, and tilt angle. Okay. Number two, you can do work in making yourself in solar energy auditor. So here you can learn A, financial consultancy. Number two, solar appraisal services, because you have to serve to the customer and to the convince the bank and insurance company. Number three, this again further you can become a solar consultant. You should understand solar insurance, solar agri solution, because they have to do irrigation, they have to plant and otherwise, and solar health consultant. There are many technologies that are working for the solar health consultant. Now, solar job consultant and solar broker, and how to find a solar job, I just told you. And solar broker or solar trade. Number four, solar project developer. So microgrid solutions, on-grid solutions, water surface plants. I'm doing some of the consultancy out of this thing. I'm working for the 6 different types of plant. Number 5, and today itself we have the presentation to NABARD. Number 5, the solar system servicing. Whenever you going to the bank, they ask, what is your business? A service sector or business sector or product sector? And you can simply understand what they say tax value. They say GST. The full form is goods and service tax. So you have to develop goods or services. For the service side, number 5 is solar system servicing, is a panel cleaning and panel cooling, 2 different types. And hot spot identification or junction box function. Number 6, solar product marketing. So there are various products you can find Amazon and Flipkart, and you can do this thing. Okay. And so you can become a solar distributor. You can start a solar shop. There's a Madhya Pradesh government scheme. You can start that thing. Even in an institute, you can start this thing. Now, see, solar lighting, which are standalone system. Okay, standalone system is different one. Number 7 is solar training services. If you learn everything, or like me, what I'm doing, I'm the solar energy educator. I do this type of workshop, FDP and 6 months program. And number 7th B is provide information of the solar products. You can become a demonstrator, and there are many YouTube videos you can learn yourself and start your own. Number 8. Now, once energy is produced, you have to store it. So solar energy storage, it means inverter, batteries, and there are PWM inverters, there are the MPPT inverters, and the calculation, the 12 watt and 14, 24 volt and DC one, how the whole house can be converted to the DC one. This type of the work, AC/DC. Number 9 is solar innovative work. There are different types of solar gadgets. So you can either develop it and or like solar Wi-Fi lights. I have developed, my students have developed and started their own startup. Their startup name is, I think, Lucent Innovators. They develop 4 different types of lights in only in 180 rupees. They simply hang it on a tree and you do not to push any button for the next 3 years. They got some job over there. Number 10 is solar thermal solution. So they are another technology for the solar one, and we are discussing engine, water heating, cooking. So I'm just telling other part for the solar photovoltaic, but there are different opportunities for your solar thermal site as well. And because what government says, don't seek job, you have to provide job. So there's a startup, MSME, DIC, innovation. There are various types. You can do this thing. And if you learn something, there's a list of 8 different types of software lists. You can learn that thing as well. Okay, I hope this is fine. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Dear learners, now we are concluding the session. I strongly believe learners have learned many more technologies, insights, which are beyond our expectations. We learned several things during the sessions by our 3 renowned speakers. It's matter of privilege for me also that I have got the chance to play the role of moderator with such renowned experts and in front of so many learners. Dear sir, as a learner, I updated myself also and expecting other learners also did the same. Thank you all for your valuable time and for joining us in this session of IPIC 2022. After that session, this session, we will again meet in the new session. That will be session 2. And the time to start of second session is 1 p.m. Thanking again to all. Special thanks to our speakers, respected Director Ma'am, Principal Sir, HOD Sir, and all dear learners. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting us.